Good day, viewers. In this video tutorial, in less than 10 minutes, I'm going to teach you logic table. How to represent logic table. Question on logic table. I said in this video tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to represent logic table. Let's look at the question. Show that the following preposition is a tautology. Show that the following preposition is a tautology. Look at the question. X intersection Y, that's it. X angate Y imply Z. Whether it's equivalent, this is equivalent symbol, equivalent to X implies Z or Y implies Z. Solution. Then before we go to solution, if you are new in this channel, please endeavor to subscribe. Subscribe to this channel to enable me grow this channel. And after subscription, turn on the notification bell for you to receive other videos whenever we post a video. Thank you for doing that. Also share to your friends and comment to enable us to know where we are doing good. Thank you. Let's go to the question. Solution. Look at it. This X, Y, Z. How many variables did I have here? I have X, Y, Z as a variable. Look at it. It's only X, Y, Z we see here. That means I have 3 variables. For me to know how many seats I'm going to give them, I'm going to give these 3 variables what? 3 seats. Look at the 3 seats. I'm giving them 3 seats. Then how am I going to know what I'm going to ask them? Since it's 3 variables, it will now be what? 2 raised to power what? 3. And that will give me what? 8. That means that's what I'm going to have here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And since it's 3 variables, it will now be what? 2 raised to power what? 3. Because the formula is what? 2 raised to power n. Why n represents how many variables I'm dealing with. Since this is 3 variables, it will be 2 raised to power 3, which give me what? 8. Then I'm going to have how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. Then I'm going to share the first row into 2. Share the second row into what? 4. And share the third row into 8. I'm going to share the first row into 2. Second row should be shared into 4. And the what? Third row should share into 8. Therefore, I have this. Later, we go to the video where I teach how to what? Create a table. I have done that. True, false, 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 false. True, false, false. True, false, false. True, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. This is a table. Then let's go. Now, the first thing I will do, I'm going to do this as I'm doing in my calculator. Assuming I want to use calculator to do this, I'll first of all do this. After I have done that, I will use this to what? Multiply whatever that here to give me the result. Also, if I want to do this in my calculator, I'll first of all do this. After I have done it, I will do this as well. After I have done this, I will take the result I get here and multiply or divide or whatever this man is. Then, this is how we do it. So the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to do this first thing first. I'm going to do this first. Then having it now, I have what? X intersect Y. That means X angate Y. And what does this symbol signify? This symbol signifies multiplication. This symbol means what? Implies what? Multiplication. What it means is what? Multiplication. That's what this symbol implies. And that is what? AND-gate. What did I call it? AND-gate. And what do we use to represent AND-gate? We represent AND-gate in our logic table, in our logic, electronic logic. This is what? AND-gate. That means my X and what? Y. And this is what? Multiplication. That's what this man means. And my result will be what? X times what? Y. That's what I'm going to see there. Look at the AND-gate. This means what? AND-gate. That means X multiply Y. That gives me the output. That's what? AND-gate. So that's what I'm going to do here. Multiplication. And you remember again that true stand for what? 1. And the false stand for what? 0. When I say true, it means what? 1. And when I say false, it means what? 0. You remember?
Then when I say false, it means 0. When I say true, it means 1. And I have told you here that AND gate, okay, come down here. The AND gate, let us clear it. X and what? Y. What it means, what? Multiply. And my answer should be what? X times what? This is X times what? Y. That means X is times Y. That's my output. This is input, and my output become X times what? Y. That's multiplication. But let's start. This is what I'm seeing now. X times Y. And remember that true is 1. 1 times 1 will give me what? 1, which is true. 1 times 1 will also give me what? 1. And 1 times 0 will give me 0, which is what? False. Then 1 times 0 will give me 0, which is what? False. 0 times 1 will give me 0, which is also false. 0 times 1 will give me what? 0, which is also false. 0 times 0 will give me what? 0, which is what? False. This 0 times 0 will give me what? 0, which is false. 0 times 0 as well will give me what? 0, which is what? False. Then I'll finish with this man. Then now, what does this man mean? I've come to this. So, and after I've done this, let me clean this so that it will not confuse us. After I have done this one, I'm going to what? This one is already here. I'm going to what? Do this. Who is going to handle this case now? This man have handled his own case, which is what? AND gate, which we call multiplication. Now, the man that is holding this case now is what? Single what? Implication. We call this what? Single what? Implication. Single implication, what is his own characteristics? How does he judge a case? Single implication judge a case by the one arrow pointing at, this one arrow pointing at determine the result. Whatever this one arrow pointing at is, that's what the answer will what be. But what is different from it is now, it changes false to be what? True. When it says false, when two of you say false, this and this said false, it will what? Give it to. You remember that logic is all about two things at a time. It will not be more than two things. When two of us are talking, we are logicking. If another person put mouth, he become a noise. So it will only be two persons. Logic deal with two things at a time. That's why we deal with this first, and the result we have is this. This is the first thing I did. I did this, and this. And who handled the case? AND gate handled these two what? Person. After they have done that, look at the result. I am having a single result now. This man now, look at his own result. Then this man, this sign now, this symbol, which is what? Single implication, is going to handle this result and this result. I think you get me now. Now, this symbol, the characteristic of this symbol is the one that arrow pointing at, which is Z, determine the result. And it changes false to be what? True. But I'm going to hold this Z. Look at where I'm going to hold my hand at Z, because he is the one that will determine the result now. But watch me. Then what is Z here? What is the value of Z here? True. The answer will be true. What's the value of Z here? False. The answer will be false. What's the value of Z here? True. The answer will be true. What's the value of Z here? False. What is the value here? False. You have seen it. False is going to be what? True. Are you getting what I'm saying? Then here, what's the value of Z here? True. It will be what? True. What's the value of Z here? False. And what is the value of this man which we are comparing it with here? False. That means false is going to say what? True. Then what is the value of Z here? True. Then I'm going to write true here. What's the value of Z here? False. And what is the value here? False. That means false is going to change it to the what? True. Then I'm true with it. This is what? Output of this what? Resultant. This is what we call result of this particular what? Side. This is the result of this particular side. This is the result of this. Then I come to this. I'm going to deal with this now. And for me to deal with this, I'm first of all going to do with this. After I have done this, I will do this. And after I have done this, the result I get here and the result I get here will be merged together to be judged by this man. So this man have to judge this and this. After I have finished judging them, I will have one result. This man have to judge this and this. After I have done Y and Z, I'm going to have one result. One result I have here and one result I have here. This man have to what? Judge these two results to give me the what? The final output. I think you have seen what I'm doing. So this man have to judge this and this to give me this result. This man have to judge this and this to have what? One result. Then after I have done this and this man have to judge the two of them to give me the final result. That's what we call what? Output. Then now, who is judging this now? Look at what I'm doing. Single implication. Single implication is judging Z and Y. And what is characteristics of single implication? As we said here, I said that it was the one arrow pointing at, who is arrow pointing at? Z, determine the result. And it changes false to be what? True. Then I'll come here, look at my Z, and who am I comparing it to? X. I'm comparing it to X. And what's the value of Z here? True. I'm going to write what? True here. And what's the value of Z here? False. I'm going to write false here. Are you following me now? I'm going to write false here. Then what's the value of Z here? True. I'm going to write what? True here. Then what's the value of Z here? What's the value of Z here? False. I'm going to write what? False here. Then what's the value of what? Z here? True. I'm going to write what? True here. Then what's the value of Z here? Look at the value of Z here, and look at the value of X I'm comparing it to. Look at the value of Z here, look at the value of X I'm comparing it to, which is what? False. It's going to change it to be what? True. So I'm going to write true here. That means false. Is going to change it to be true. What's the value of Z here? True. I'm going to write true here. I think you're following what I'm doing. Then what's the value of Z here? False. Look at the value of X I'm comparing it with. It is what? False. That means false is going to change it to the word true. That means I'm going to write true here. I'm done with this. I will come to this. I get what I'm saying now. This one now also means that Y implies Z. That means the Z is determining the result. And who am I comparing Z to? I'm comparing Z to Y now. I'm finishing comparing Z to X. I'm comparing Z to Y. That means Z determines the result. And I'm comparing it to Y. That Z determine the result, because the one arrow pointing at will determine the result. So I will come here to say, look at my Z and look at my Y. Look at that, true. That's my Z here. The value of my Z here is true. I'm going to put true here. Come over here. I'm going to put true here. Then what's my value of Z here? F, which is false. And I'm going to put what? False here. I'm going to see false here. Then what's my value of Z here? True. I'm going to put what? True here. And what is my value of Z here? False. And what is my value of Y I'm comparing it with is what? False. Since I'm comparing it with Y, and Y is false here, and Z is false, that means I'm going to write what? True. You're going to change it to the word true. Then what's the value of Z here? True. I'm going to write what? True here. Then what's the value of Z here? False. I'm going to write what? False here. Then what's the value of Z here is what? True. I'm going to write what? True here. Then what's the value of Z here? False. And what is the value of Y I'm comparing it with is what? False. False, it changes to the word true. And my words are done with this. Since I have finished with this, you see what I'm putting here. Since I'm done with this, you will not say that this is true. True, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. Now, who is going to give us the final answer? I've gotten this to be this. And now, dates and dates, who is going to judge them? Or get. This symbol is called what? Or get. And this symbol is called what? Or get. And what is the symbol? Look at the symbol of or get. Look at it. And what is it? Is plus. Or get means what? Plus. That means I'm plusing this A and what? B. And what is the A now in this case? A is this man. What is the B? Is this man. And what is it going to do? It will going to say A plus what? B. That will be my answer. That's or get. This symbol stands for what? Or get. Then or get means what? Addition. Plus. That means 1 plus 1 will give me what? 1. That's true will give me what? True. That means true will give me what? True. False means 0 plus 0 will give me what? 0, which is what? False. True will give me what? True. And what? 0 plus 1 will give me what? 1. That's 0 plus 1 will give me 1. 1 plus 1 will also give me 1. And 1 plus 0 will give me what? 1, which is true. And what? True plus true, that's 1 plus 1 will give me what? 1. And what? True will give me what? True. And you remember that I told you that true is 1. And when somebody will tell me, why did I say 1 plus 1 will give me 1? You know that we are dealing with what? In logic, we are dealing with what? 0 and 1. We can't write more than 1 in logic. Therefore, if I now say 1, this true means 1 plus what? 1. That means true means 1 plus 1 will give me what? 2. Then I will not write 2 here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to divide by what? 2 to give me what? 1. Remainder what? 0. What I'm going to write is my quotient and carry on my remainder to over there. So the quotient is 1. Then when I have 1 plus 1, it will give me what? 2. I will divide by 2 to give me quotient of 1, which will be my answer. While the remainder will go to the other one. Therefore, when I said true means 1 plus 1, which will give me 2, divide by 1, 2 will give me 1. That means true will give me what? True. False plus false will give me false. True plus true will give me true. False plus true will give me true. True plus true will give me true. True plus true. That means this characteristics of this man says that he can only say false when 2 of you have said false. Any other thing is what? True. It will only say false when 2 of you have said false. Otherwise, it's true. But check it now. True. True, false. That's when you say false, it will say false. True. False, true. False, true. You have seen it. That it can only say false when 2 of you have said false. And let us look at the output. Look at the result of this side. This place now, look at the result. We'll say true, false, true. We'll come to this result. Look over here. We see true, false, true. We now see that the result of this place is the same thing as the result of this side. The result of this place is the same thing as the result of this side. We will now say it is what? Equivalent. The result is what? Equivalent. Look at what I put here. I've already told you what? The examiner that this result is the same thing as this result. Therefore, it is what? Equivalent. That means this man and this man, the result we got here and the results we got here are the same. Therefore, they are what? Equivalent. That is this symbol. This symbol means what? Equivalent. They are equal. Are you getting what I'm saying? This is what we have for you this today. If you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe. See you in the next video. Thank you.